Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sisters of the Strange. I'm Landrey.
And I'm Shae.
Anything exciting?
No.
We get to go to Youngblood tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to a concert tomorrow.
It was totally Shae's concert, and then she was like, I have an extra ticket. You want to go? I was like, 1,000% I do.
Yeah.
For certain.
Of course I'm going to ask you.
Yeah. So
I knew you wanted to go anyways.
This is the second free concert I've gotten to go to.
Let me tell you what, these babies, they're going to be coming out rocking.
Yeah. Or telling horror stories. I was thinking that I was researching the other day, and then how much we've told stories while pregnant. And I'm like, this man's is hearing all the trauma we're dumping.
Yeah.
And he's
just going to come out knowing all the lore.
He's going to come out. I'm like, he's either going to come out being like super cool or
these kids are going to be dope.
Or really weird.
Nah, these kids are going to be dope.
Is he going to be one of our, are we going to tell a story about him one day? Hopefully not.
Talking to his imaginary friend in the living room.
Okay, well.
You know what? That could be fun.
We're selling the house at that rate.
It could be fun. We could have stories for the podcast.
Did you see the TikTok I sent you last night?
Yes.
And he was like, we're getting out of here.
We're getting out. We gotta go. It was like a little baby like playing with his dad, and then all of a sudden she was going, oh no.
And Jan was like looking in the corner of a dark room.
Because she was like looking past him, and he was like, nope, we're leaving.
Yeah, got up and out of there. And then the comments are like people running with suitcases, and they're like, you're gonna survive. It was hilarious.
Literally, we're
the comments
leaving.
Are the best.
We are leaving.
Yeah. Oof.
I did see something else on TikTok the other day that I wanted to talk about on here really quick. I think it's like a new and developing thing. I saved one of them so that I could talk about the creator. Weird. Okay. So that's why I couldn't find it. I thought I saved it.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently she privated her account.
Oh.
Now. So the account, the creator, her name is @artful_grieving on Instagram. I think you can still find her on Instagram, but she was posting these videos on TikTok talking about how her father is like on his deathbed, and she swears that he was a serial killer. And she was
making a documentary about this?
No, this is a different story.
Oh, okay.
This girl just started posting this like a couple weeks ago or like last week or something. And she'd only posted like 3 or 4 videos, but she was basically talking about how she was trying to find victims' families because she was like saying that her father was basically telling her on his deathbed that he like killed a bunch of women. He was a trucker for many, many, many years.
Good narts.
And so he was killing all these women that like matched her description. Like they were young, thin, blonde, blue eyes, like, and he would tell her when she was younger, in the younger days, that he would meet all these women that looked so much like her, and he would call them her sisters. And like, so now that she's older, she's like,
ugh,
this is weird.
Yeah.
And he would like use her to like lure these women in, like pictures of his daughter in his truck, and like to make them feel safe and comforted.
Yeah.
That he was not a bad guy and he was killing these women. And so she's trying to find like victims' families of like missing women or people who've like been unsolved. And so I was going to go back and look at her videos to like talk about some of it. Well, now her account is privated. So that's weird.
Sketch.
But I thought it was really weird because it was just something new that I hadn't heard about before.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting.
I think it's very interesting whenever we talk about certain serial killers like Ted Bundy or BTK. They had families like that they were raising on the side.
They're just living double lives, basically.
But how do you even compartmentalize something like that, you know?
Couldn't be me. I don't know.
No.
My brain doesn't work that way.
Sisters of the Strange.
Well,
That's interesting.
Without further ado, yeah, I thought that was interesting, but we should probably talk about what we came here to talk about today. So I came very underprepared today, not with the story, but with the fact that I don't have my laptop.
Yeah, I noticed that when you were walking in.
I got up here and I was like, oh, I don't have it. I'm not going back to get it.
I noticed that when you walked in. I was like,
we'll be reading off of my phone today.
But you brought in your cam card, so I was like, wait, was I supposed to be the one recording? I was confused for a second.
No.
That makes sense.
Nope, not at all. I just slipped my mind.
It'll happen.
It just slipped my mind. So This is an interesting one.
Okay.
It's our favorite kind. It's unsolved. The ones that just leave us with questions more than any answers.
Love that.
Because that's all I have with this is
Great.
questions. But it also kind of fits the theme of like Summerween kind of. And we're getting to be there. It's almost June.
I love Summerween.
I'm excited for Halloween already. And this is a cabin murder.
I quite literally almost did my baby shower as Summerween.
I think you still should.
And then I was like, I shouldn't do that. It's weird. But I do want to have a Summerween party.
I will be having a Halloween themed party.
I'm so down.
Fall themed party, I should say.
Yeah, you have to.
For sure. Yeah. So I thought this kind of fit that bill a little bit.
Love it.
It's a cabin murder.
Makes me excited.
Yee. So apparently this is a pretty big one that a lot of people, true crime people, know. It's not one that I'm like super familiar with, but I have heard the story before. And I think it's very interesting. So that's why we're going to talk about it. And the title of the episode is Keddie Cabin, which is the name of the campsite / cabin site that this happened at. But a lot of people know it as Cabin 28.
Have to do with Girl Scouts?
No.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know this.
No. So apparently if you're into true crime at all, this is something that, like I said, you're familiar with.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are familiar with it, but it is extremely unsolved. But once you hear the story, you will know why it sticks with people because it is absolutely absurd. It is quite literally, there's probably a horror movie based off of it.
Great.
If there's not, there should be.
We're patenting that. Nobody follow us.
There's got to be something similar to that. There's got to be something similar to this. But anyways, it kind of starts off like tiny mountain town, cabin in the woods. Multiple people are murdered.
Sick.
Super sick. There's people that are in same cabin who nothing happens to them, but it's like this brutal murder. Someone goes missing. The police screw up everything. Just literally sounds like a horror film.
It sounds very chaotic. Sounds like there's a lot of moving parts.
There is. It's very messy.
I love that though.
Very, very messy. So as I mentioned, today we're going to be talking about the Keddie Cabin murders, otherwise known as the murders inside Cabin 28. So as we get deeper into the story, the weirder and scarier it gets. So first off, we'll talk about Keddie itself because it matters. So Keddie is in California, Keddie, California, and it is this super tiny little resort town near the Sierra Mountains. So it's one of those towns that's like borders California and Nevada, kind of like Tahoe.
Okay.
But it's very wooded, it's very isolated, but it's a community. It's one of those towns, it's not a town. It's rental cabins. Like you would go, like when I think of this type of thing, I would think of like Holland Lake. When you see those little cabins and they're just there.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is.
Okay.
Or like when we went to Georgia and we were driving through wherever we were driving through.
Yeah.
Were we in Georgia? No, we were in. Yeah.
Georgia.
We had to have been in
That was
Georgia.
the only state we
That
stayed
was the only
in.
place. That was the only place we were in. But when
I know
we
it does feel like we
but when
like
we
crossed into Tennessee or something.
Yes, when we stopped at the lake
Oh, okay. Yeah.
where they filmed one of the Friday the 13th
it's almost just like
movies.
a state park type feeling.
Yeah.
Like it's just like in between towns, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of out there.
I could feel
But
that.
there's cabins.
I
And
feel
you can
that.
live in them and you can stay in them. But a lot of people like lived there. Like there's people who lived there. It was rentals, but you could also live there. Does that make
Interesting.
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the 80s, this place was kind of run down. It's not nasty by any means, but it's not this like luxurious vacation spot.
Yeah.
It's literally just, here's a cabin. We're going to stay in it. We're in the woods. Maybe there's a lake nearby or something we can do.
Like a roach.
Type. Yeah, exactly. So it's just kind of there. But it's cute and it's quaint and it's quiet. And so that's what brings the Sharp family there. So Glenna Susan or Sue Sharp is the mother of 5 children. Okay. She is from Springfield, Massachusetts, as well as her children. But she was married and they lived in Connecticut for a little while. She gets divorced from her husband. She takes the 5 kids, separates from him, and they relocate to Northern California.
That's a distance.
She's like, gotta go.
Other side of the world.
So Sue's brother Don lived in California, so that's why that's where they ended up.
Okay, I was like, that's quite the decision.
Mhm.
That is.
Gotta go.
Well, yeah, I'm like, is her husband a bad guy? Why's she going so far?
I don't know.
Opportunity, I guess. But.
Yeah, she just, I would think, probably. So when they first moved to California, she rents this small trailer that her brother formerly owned in a like trailer village in Quincy. And the following fall is when she moves into cabin 28 in the rural Sierra Nevada railroad town of Keddie. The cabin itself was a house, basically, so it was much larger than the trailer that she was living in with her 5 children. And this had become available because the person who lived there prior, vacated the property, so now there's an open cabin that she can rent and live in long term. So that's where she decides to go. So she and her 5 children, 15-year-old son John, 14-year-old daughter Sheila, 12-year-old daughter Tina, and then her 2 younger boys, Rick, who was 10, and Greg, who was 5. She did a wide range.
Yes, she did.
5 to 15.
Yeah, I have no.
Couldn't be me.
I'm planning on like back to back in this.
I'm like, never again, actually. Thank
Actually,
you.
no.
Now, Sheila and her 5 kids, by all accounts, were a normal family. Nothing strange. Nobody was strange. Nobody was out of the ordinary. The kids had friends in the resort, in the cabin village. There were people constantly in and out of each other's cabins. They were just a little community. Everybody knew each other, and the kids just kind of did their own thing, and then they had to come home at dark. It was one of those communities where everything felt safe. Of course, that's where every one of these stories starts.
Yeah, quintessential small area.
Yeah. And nothing bad ever goes.
Nothing bad ever happened.
Nothing bad ever goes wrong.
Yeah.
Is what I was going to say. That's not the words, but it's fine. Nothing bad ever happens.
I agree.
At least until April 11th, 1981. Dun, dun, dun. So we're spring. It's nice weather.
Yeah.
We're in the 80s, early 80s.
I'm imagining
Vibing.
swimming.
Yeah.
Vibes.
Summer camp vibes.
We should have
all
worn
I get.
outfits.
I know. That's all I get.
Me and my outfit that
Could you imagine us in our
already didn't
outfits?
fit last summer. Imagine it now.
I'll be wearing that at some point this summer. You just wait.
Mine won't fit.
It will. Partially.
As a bikini.
Be fun. Be fine.
It'll be cute.
So this was a Saturday night. Hopping. Everything was normal. Kids were hanging out. People are watching TV, coming in and out of the house. Friends are staying over. Kids are staying at other people's houses. Nothing was weird. It was a normal Saturday night.
Yeah, it sounds I like it.
Sounds very 80s. Sounds very, we're chilling. Everything's great.
I like the vibe.
April 11th at 11:30 that morning. We're starting with the timeline of the day.
Okay.
11:30 a.m. that morning. Sue, the mom, Sheila, the daughter, and Greg, the son, they drive from the house of one of their friends, the Meeks family, to pick up Rick, one of the other younger boys, who was at baseball tryouts in Quincy, also in California. They find John, one of her other children, and his friend, Dana Hall Wingate, hitchhiking at the mouth of the canyon from Quincy to Keddie. So they pick them up and they're like, okay, we're going to take y'all 6 miles to Keddie, back home. 2 hours later, around 3:30 p.m., just saw that all happened, and then now it's 3 o'clock. Around 3:30 p.m., John and Dana make it back to Quincy, where they had plans to visit their friends. And around this time, the boys were seen in the downtown area. They're hanging out. He's
They're
like
chilling.
14 or something like that, 13 or
Yeah.
14, so he's doing his thing. He's grown up at this point in the 80s.
He's a man.
He's a full man. That same evening, Sheila, the oldest daughter, I think the only daughter, actually. No, there's another daughter, Tina.
It sounded like there was one more
Sheila's
in
the
there.
oldest daughter, though.
Okay.
She had plans to spend the night with the Seabolt family, who lived in the adjacent cabin number 27. So quite literally across the street.
Okay. Across the drive.
Across the drive. Across the gravel. On the other side. Sue, the mom, stayed home with Rick and Greg, the younger boys, and then their friend, Justin Smart. So there's an extra. This is a friend. Sheila leaves house 28 shortly after 8 p.m. to go spend the night at the Seabolt's house. Tina, the younger daughter, was also at the Seabolt's house that evening, but went home to 28 after asking what time it was, around 9:30. So she was the younger daughter. She had to go home.
Yeah.
Sheila gets to spend the night with her friends.
Typical little sister shit.
Yeah, little sister has to go back. So that's what happens.
Okay.
Sheila spends the night at the Seabolt's house. There's a friend staying the night at the Sharp.
I'm like, why would I remember like Glenna?
I know there's so many names. There's so many names in this story, so it's kind of hard to.
Like, how do I remember Glenna though? Why is that what I remember?
Are you up to speed though?
Yes, I'm catching.
Okay. So while Sheila is at the neighbors, Justin's with the two younger boys. They're in their bedroom. In the living room of cabin 28 is Sue, the mom, her son John, and John's friend Dana Wingate, and 12-year-old Tina Sharp,
Okay.
the other daughter. And at some point that night, something really bad happened really fast. And the next morning is when they figure it out at approximately 10 a.m., the morning of April 12th. Sheila, hello?
Hello.
Sheila returns home to cabin 28 and discovers the dead bodies of her mom, Sue, her brother John, John's friend Dana in the living room.
Okay. No Tina?
No Tina.
Okay.
All three of them had been bound with medical tape and electrical cords. Tina was not there, while the three younger boys, Rick, Greg, and Justin, were found physically unharmed in the bedroom.
Okay.
When Sheila gets to the house, she runs back to the Seabolt's house because she's probably like, what the hell?
Yeah, something
Rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamie Seabolt retrieved, which is the husband of this family,
Yeah.
goes back and gets Rick, Greg, and Justin out their bedroom window
Okay.
to, I guess,
Not
the right
let them
thing.
see anything? Yeah.
Yes. But then he later admits having briefly entered the home through the back door to see if there was anybody that was still alive. So that potentially contaminates a little bit of evidence in the process. But he admits to doing that. He's like, I did go back inside to see if anybody was alive because, this kid's like, everybody's dead. Somebody could still be alive. They could just be in really bad shape. You don't know. But Sheila said that the living room looked like a war zone. There was furniture overturned and flipped and moved and blood everywhere. And investigators say there are signs of this massive violent struggle. Sue Sharp and Dana and John were murdered extremely viciously. They were bound. 2 bloody knives and 1 hammer were found at the scene. And blood spatter evidence from inside the house indicated that the murders had all taken place in the living room. So everything happened right there.
Yeah.
Sue was found lying on her side near the couch, nude from the waist down, gagged with a blue bandana and her own underwear, which had been then secured with duct tape. So she was like really gagged.
Yeah.
And then she had been stabbed in the chest and her throat was cut horizontally and the wound was like all the way through her like voice box, her larynx, and nicked her spine.
Holy shit.
So it was deep.
Deep.
And on the side of her head, there was an imprint matching the butt of a Daisy 880 BB gun.
A BB gun?
Pellet rifle. Yeah.
Random.
John's throat was also slashed and Dana had multiple head injuries and had been manually strangled to death.
Oh my God. Can you imagine they had to like watch the mom and like their friend's mom potentially
Yeah.
nude?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trauma.
Wow. Yeah.
Trauma. So John and Dana both suffered blunt force trauma to their heads caused by maybe 1 or maybe 2 hammers. There could have been more than 1. But they were beat with hammers, which is horrifying.
Yes.
And then the autopsies determined that Sue and John both died from the knife wounds and blunt force trauma, but Dana died specifically by asphyxiation. So he was literally strangled to death.
An odd combination.
Right. What are we doing? What's happening?
Yeah.
It's also said that there were like the knives that were found were bent because they were so violently used in the attack.
That's insane.
Like, was this just a psycho come into murder just for funsies, or
That's
was there some
rage.
kind of like there has to be some kind of a rage behind this, right?
Yeah, like it's giving like love interest rage or something.
It's giving psycho.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's super intense to like bend a knife like that.
Yeah. But also we have to remember too, all 3 younger boys were still asleep in the bedroom during all of this.
They said they never woke
How
up.
did they not wake up?
I'm not so sure.
Yeah. I'm not either.
I would
It's
imagine that
giving
they had
the
like
Idaho 5.
I would imagine that they would have woken up and like peeked out of the door and been like, "Oh shit.
Oh shit. Yeah, don't go out there.
Yeah, not the
Like,
time."
did anybody know they were there? Surely not.
I don't know.
Surely not.
But if you were going to go into a house and do this brutal of a crime, would you not check the rest of the house?
You would think. Because there's gonna be some commotion. Right?
If there was a violent scene like it's laid
Yeah.
out, certainly furniture flipped over and stuff.
And Tina's somewhere. So she was alive. She was with them in the living room. So Sheila and the Seabolt family in the neighboring cabin also say they heard no commotion during the night. But a couple living in house 16,
Way down the road.
right down the road, down the gravel,
Yeah.
was awakened at 1:15 by what sounded like muffled screaming coming from the direction of the rear area of 28.
That's a distance.
Someone's lying.
Yeah. The math ain't mathin'.
Stuff like that always confuses me so bad.
Yeah.
Because the boys in the cabin didn't hear anything. They were asleep. They don't know. The people in the house across the street didn't hear anything, didn't see anything. They don't know. Down the road, nosy Nellies,
Dick and Phil.
Nick and Phil, they heard some kind of muffled screaming. Or are they just like,
Trying to
maybe
play the
I
part.
heard something,
Yeah, like trying to play
you
into it.
know? Because sometimes people do that.
Yeah, it's like all the fake call-ins people get when they're like,
Yes.
"Here's the hotline, give me a tip." And they get 900 calls that mean absolutely nothing.
Nothing. So it could have been one of those. Who knows?
But also could be, well, no, because I'm thinking about inside the house. I was thinking if their even numbers are on the same side of the road, right? Odd numbers are on the same side of the road.
Yeah.
So I was thinking if they said it came from the back side of the house, maybe they're on like a holler or something to where you do hear like stuff that comes down the creek with wind and
Yeah.
echoes and stuff like that. But you would hear it inside of the house as well, realistically.
And
like the
across the
boys. It just depends. Depends on elevation and stuff. Wind. They might not, you know? Like
It's true.
how stuff carries.
Yeah, I can hear stuff from the hill
Yeah.
down to my house, but you can't hear anything from my house up on the hill.
So it might just depend on a little bit of that, but it still is like out. That's a reach,
Mhm.
but it's a potential reach. But the boys
Still
in the
theory.
house really should have probably woken up to
Something.
furniture flipping's pretty loud.
It's loud.
Gotta say.
But these boys did hit. Well, though that was John and Dana that hitchhiked back
Yeah.
and forth. I'm like,
They were
they're
the tired
They
ones.
were tired. The young boys were there the whole time. So
Maybe they got told not to say that they heard or saw anything.
from whom though?
The killer.
Why would he leave them there? Why would he leave them there if they were potential witnesses? And if he left them there, why did he take Tina? Or where's Tina?
I don't know
She
where
was
Tina's
gone.
at. Tina's gone.
Tina Sharp is gone. Nobody knows what happened to her. And then they're like, oh yeah. The police are like, oh yeah, where's Tina?
Yeah, there was another child. Has Tina ever been found?
Yes, she has been.
Oh, okay.
But for years, nobody knew. Did she run away? Did she hide? Was she kidnapped? Did they kill her?
Yeah.
Where is she? So that's the timeline of the murders.
Okay.
Sketch.
Odd.
What the hell happened in cabin 28?
Yeah, there's questions.
So many questions. So our friend that spent the night, Justin, his stepfather, Martin Smart, was a neighbor and a main suspect. He claimed that there was a claw hammer that had inexplicably gone missing from his home and did not know what happened to it or where it could be. So that's weird.
Yeah.
In addition to interviewing the Smarts, detectives interviewed numerous other locals and neighbors, several including the members of the Seabolt family, and they remember seeing a green van parked at the Sharps' house around 9 p.m. Who was that?
Why are we not concerned about that? Why wasn't the daughter concerned that there was a strange green van at her house?
Right. Don't know.
Because I'd be concerned.
I would be too. Why is there a van outside my house that I don't know?
Yeah, who is that? I'd be walking my happy ass across the street. Who are you?
So our friend, again, back to Justin,
Mm-hmm.
he offered conflicting stories on that evening and stated that he had dreamed details of the murders. And in later accounts of the events, he told, like, when he was under hypnosis, basically, where they like put you in a trance and you like
Mhm.
go back to like remember details. They do it on Criminal Minds a lot.
Yeah.
He claimed to have seen Sue, the mom, with 2 men. But then he's like, oh, I might have dreamed that. But then under hypnosis, he's like, oh, I do remember seeing that. So like, do you believe that or not? Is that credible or not?
Yeah. And what's Sue
I don't
doing
think
with-
in any world that that's really credible,
I don't know.
in my opinion.
I think it would take more than 2. I think it would take 2 to 3 men
to do all of the thing.
with 2 teenage boys. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. To keep them all.
And
'Cause
somebody
even-
to take the girl.
Yeah. I'm like, because even if you have a gun pointed at you, if you're like that scared, you're going to do something. You're not just going to comply. Like, I don't know. You might. I feel like I'd be in fight or like I'd be fighting back.
Oh,
I'd be
for
like, I'm already going
sure.
to die. So
So
would
I
be
mean,
like,
just fight.
yeah.
Fight for my life. The worst that happens is what?
Do you actually shoot me now
I
instead
win?
of torturing
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Well, it'd be the best. That's the best case
The best
scenario.
case
You
scenario.
kill me now instead of torturing me.
Yeah.
I just feel like, yeah, there's got to be more than one to maintain 2 teenage boys.
I agree. And a grown woman.
Yeah, and if he was, and if the son, this is kind of another reach, but like oldest son, very protective of mom,
Yeah.
single mom, man of the house.
Yeah.
I just feel like there would be like a lot of fight there, and
Yeah.
it sounds like there was
and
with furniture and all
there
of that.
was. There had to
so
have been. Yeah.
definitely feels like more than one person.
Was involved.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So maybe 2 men.
I agree.
Maybe he did see 2 men.
I agree. But here's a weird detail. So Justin gives some descriptions of these men, and there is composite sketches of the 2 unknown men produced by a man named Harlan Embry. Now, this man has no artistic ability and no training in forensic sketching.
Draw stick figures.
No. He draws composite sketch, but like,
Nice.
yeah,
He's
They-
like
they don't have eyeballs.
points, arrows, brown hair.
Yeah. But it's just weird that they just let this random guy, when they have access to the Justice Department and the FBI's forensic artist, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, here, we'll just use this guy who sometimes like helps out the local police station.
Big artist.
He's a local artist. We'll just support local. Sometimes you just need to not. Sometimes you need to let the FBI do their job.
Maybe a strange idea there.
It's a big ask.
Strange concept.
But next time, maybe don't use the Joe Blow off the street.
Yeah, maybe
No offense to the Joe Blow, but
not.
there's a
not
time
getting
and a
lot
place.
there.
There's
Yeah.
a time and a place, okay? In the press releases accompanying the sketches, the suspects were described in their late 20s to early 30s. One stood between 5'11 and 6'2", with dark blonde hair, and the other was between 5'6 and 5'10 with black greased hair, and both of them wore gold-framed sunglasses. So any man in the 80s, basically.
MC Hammer time. That's all I can think of. Gold. He wears gold pants.
Gold pants!
Yeah, but I'm thinking of gold sunglasses. Who wears gold sunglasses?
Gold-framed sunglasses? You know, the serial killer glasses that everybody wears.
I'm
In the
thinking
80s.
like thick Ray-Bans that are gold.
Oh.
Like these basically, but gold framed.
I guess so. Sunglasses.
That's where
not
my brain's
regular
at.
glasses. I was thinking glasses. My brain went to serial killer sunglasses.
Oh, okay. Slay.
You know?
I get it.
Usual. But sunglasses would describe why in the sketches there's no eyeballs.
That
So,
could track.
That makes sense. There were some rumors regarding the crimes being ritualistic, which I don't agree with, or motivated by drug trafficking, but both of those were dismissed by Plumas County Sheriff's Department, who stated in the week following the murders that neither drug paraphernalia or illegal drugs were found in the home.
No, if anything, if it was like some random miscellaneous thing, I would think it was people that they had hitchhiked with that day.
Right.
Like
Maybe.
an opportunity.
Yeah.
But
They
I
told him
wouldn't
where he
think-
lived,
Yeah.
which
well,
is
he
possible.
had to get dropped off
Yeah.
or somewhere around there. That would be the only thing I could think of when it would come to like something random, like
Mhm.
random people.
I don't think it was ritualistic. Nothing even crossed my mind.
No, they weren't in any particular fashion, you know,
No.
like the mom
Yeah.
was over by the couch and they're over here. Like they're not in a circle or
Yeah.
sitting on symbols or anything like that.
Right. So remember Tina? Can't find Tina anywhere. Tina's disappearance was initially investigated by the FBI as a possible abduction.
Mhm.
Fair. As they rightfully should have. FBI was involved, as
Yeah.
they, again, should have. Although it was reported on April 29th, 1981, that the FBI had backed off the search because the California State Department of Justice was doing an adequate job and made the FBI's presence unnecessary.
Yeah, let's not look for a little girl.
Like, why are we doing that?
I don't know. Where's Sheila? Is Sheila not concerned? Like, my sister
It's gone. Yeah. And half my family's dead.
I would like to have the one relative, or not one, because I guess her brothers.
They're
but
brothers.
like,
She's got her two brothers. But yeah, they're like, nothing. They're doing a good job doing the investigation.
yeah.
Why? I just don't feel like the FBI just like steps down unless there's actual leads from the Justice Department or the Sheriff's Department or whoever that are like actively following a lead.
Make you believe that she's
that
going to
they're
be found
actually
safely.
doing a good job.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Maybe I don't know how the FBI works,
Yeah, I'm not sure how they work
but that just
either.
doesn't make sense to me.
No, we're
Like if
supposed
the
to be
FBI is going to get
finding-
involved right off the bat, they usually stay involved because they are the top.
Yeah, like highest authority.
They're like, I don't care about your jurisdiction. My jurisdiction is the whole world.
This is mine.
Goodbye.
Oh, gosh.
So for years, they have no answers. Sheila has no answers. Being the rest of the family, aunts, uncles,
Okay.
like nobody knows.
how odd.
How traumatizing. Then 3 years later, in 1984, there's a man in California collecting old bottles, and he discovers human remains about 100 miles away from Keddie. He discovers the cranium portion of a human skull and part of a mandible at Camp 18 near Feather Falls in a neighboring county, Butte County, roughly 5 miles from Feather Falls, California. And these remains were confirmed by a forensic pathologist to be those of Tina
Oh, I
in
thought she was
June
going to be
of
found alive.
1984. Nope.
Wow.
Shortly after announcing the discovery, the Butte County Sheriff's Office received an anonymous call that identified the remains as belonging to Tina, but the call was not documented. And a tape containing a recording of the call was found at the bottom of an evidence box at some point after 2013 by a deputy who was assigned the case. Because the case is still open,
Yeah.
basically.
So someone called and was like, oh, yeah, I know whose remains it is, by the way.
Huh?
And we're not going to.
And they're like, okay.
cool, thanks. Click.
But they were confirmed in 1984 by a forensic pathologist. But like, who's the person who called?
Yeah.
I don't care if it's an anonymous call. That person needs to be traced
We need to look
and
into
talked
them
to.
now.
So many questions. So many questions. Because now the questions that we have are, was Tina taken because she witnessed the murders? Was she the intended reasoning of breaking in to take her?
Yeah.
Or like again, what actually happened? Nobody knows. But why did they take Tina? Did they just take her because they didn't want to kill her, or because they were intending to go and take her, or they just took her because she was a witness and they wanted to, they felt like they needed to flee, so they just took her and then killed her somewhere else?
Yeah.
But it seems like they were on the run.
Very odd that they took her, left them.
Yeah.
Like
it was
left,
just pick and shoot. Like this had to
left
have just
alive,
been a
killed this-
random
yeah.
thing. Right?
very unclear. Never heard of it. Very unclear.
Very unclear. Answers unclear.
Yeah.
So the two names that come up constantly as far as suspects are Martin Smart, which I already
Mm-hmm.
explained, and then John Bodeby. John Bodeby.
John Bowden.
Lead a beat a Bodebutt. Have you
Nope.
seen those?
No. Slay.
Oh, they're so funny. It's this old lady on TikTok, and she's got all these dogs that are like decrepitly old,
Oh gosh.
and their names are absolutely ridiculous. And one of them is Lead a beat a Bodebutt. Emerald Jane Greenball. It's their names, and they are like, all of them are like, kill me.
I'm ready to
That's
die.
what they all look like. It's so funny.
No.
Oh, God bless her. She's a cute little lady.
That's so fair. They probably started with a normal name and then it's just like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because Biggie started as Biggie and now she's Greena Weena Beena. Just whatever happens,
Yeah, that,
you know?
that tracks. Yeah, that tracks. So people have been side-eyeing these men for decades. Obviously, Martin Smart lived nearby and reportedly, I wasn't able to really find a whole lot more on this, but had some issues with Sue. Not sure what it was. Maybe just like neighborly quarrels. Maybe there was some kind of something going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And maybe she wasn't feeling it. And I don't know.
We don't.
I think he seems very suspicious.
I think it would be interesting. Like,
because
the
his
boys.
son
Yeah.
was in the room with the other boys. And so why were they left there?
Yeah.
Well, because dad knew that his son was in the room with the other boys.
Yeah.
You know? That just makes sense to me. Ew.
But also, why choose to kill them the night that your son's there?
Right. Like you couldn't have
Waited.
like
The
or done
next-
something else.
Like the next night.
Try again.
Yeah.
There were inconsistencies in the stories. There were rumors of confessions, like the ones with Justin. One investigator later claimed that Smart had admitted involvement to the killings to a therapist. As we all know, that is muddy.
That'll get you.
That's hard to get to court
Yeah.
and in court and out of court and all the things. Is that allowed? Is it not? Just depends.
Yeah.
So there was a rumor that he had written this letter to his ex-wife, Martin Smart, to his ex-wife that said something along the lines of, I gave 4 lives for yours or something like that. This was after the murders. But then I was reading threads on Reddit and somebody had said that if you really actually read the real letter, it says that he gave up the 4 lives of his children when he left her.
Oh.
So like, what's the real true meaning behind what he meant by that?
Yeah, like words.
So that's some evidence that's hard to use as well. And then over time, more and more people started to believe that police basically knew who did it almost immediately, but they weren't telling anybody. And this is where all the corruption and the cover-up stories start because people believe that the evidence was mishandled, which I could agree with. Important reports disappeared. Certain leads weren't followed properly. And some people think that local relationships in the town complicate everything. So basically the entire investigation itself was a disaster, which is why we don't have any answers, which we've been here before with many other cases where it's like, what is the frick is happening?
Yeah.
We don't know. I have so many questions, but it's because there was no proper
investigation
or it wasn't handled properly. And what's crazy is that there actually was evidence. There was evidence. And later on, that evidence comes back and is tested with DNA and it reopened the case. And this was like 2018. So a hammer was linked to the murders, was reportedly found years later. And DNA technology reopened interest in the case. And investigators start revisiting the old evidence and interviews, but still nobody was ever arrested for the murders in Cabin 28. According to a 2016 article published by the Sacramento Bee, Martin Smart had left Keddie and driven to Reno, Nevada shortly after the murders. Why are you doing that? While he was there, this is when he sent that letter to his wife, ruminating on his personal struggles in their marriage, in which he stated, quote, "I've paid the price of your love, and now I've bought it with 4 people's lives," quote. That's on Wikipedia, so we take that with a grain of salt. Because, like I said, on Reddit, I read that somebody broke it down and was like, actually,
no,
this is muddled. Yeah.
Is the route that he took where Tina's body was found?
Probably. Probably. Would we know that if we were investigated? Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Because this was an article published in 2016 that it said that he was driven to Reno.
Get it together.
After the murders. So, in a 2016 interview, a Plumas County special investigator, Mike Gamberg, stated that the letter was overlooked in the initial investigation and was never admitted as evidence. But again, we don't know if that could actually have been used as evidence or not because it seemed to be a little dramatic.
Yeah.
And people are taking it for what it's not.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So He later criticized the quality of the investigation, saying you could take someone just coming out of the academy and they'd have done a better job. Agreed.
Get him.
And then the counselor who Smart regularly visited also alleged that he had admitted to the murders of Sue and Tina, but claimed I didn't have anything to do with the boys. And he allegedly told the counselor that Tina was killed to prevent her from identifying him because she had witnessed the whole thing. Now that is a confession if you ask me,
That's a statement.
but it's coming from a therapist, counselor, if you will.
Yeah.
So what do we do with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And why did we not do anything with that? You know?
Yeah. Why didn't we call 911?
Like,
Interesting.
take a page out of the...
Menendez brothers. I know you didn't want to.
Take a page out of the book.
Yeah.
Okay? I can't even remember what that quack's name is anymore.
Means
Can't stand the guy.
means you're progressing.
I know. I'm moving on. Anyways. And then John Bodeby was the other suspect who I don't have a lot of information on him, but apparently he was in the same cabin as Smart. Like he was rooming with him.
Okay,
And he
that would
allegedly
track.
had some kind of like organized crime ties in Chicago. But he died in 1988. So he's
Okay.
out. He's outie.
Okay, mafia and
Yeah, what are we
middle of
doing?
Nowhere.
Yeah. It's Bobedy. I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
Nobody.
Bobedy. So those are the two main suspects that go nowhere. They go nowhere. So in a little bit more current news, on March 24th, 2016, it's still been 10 years ago. Damn.
Dadgummit.
Daggum.
You just sounded like Mater
I did
so
not-
bad.
I did not realize that was that long ago.
Not as current as we originally thought.
Not as current as I quite thought it was. Damn old. A hammer, as I mentioned previously, a hammer matching the description of the one that Smart claimed to have lost. Remember when he was like, oh, there was a hammer that's just gone. Okay.
Who the knows where their hammers are at and if they're missing? Because I don't.
It was discovered in a local pond and was taken into evidence by Officer Gamberg.
Okay.
Plumas County Sheriff Greg Hagwood, who was 16 years old at the time of the murders and knew the Sharp family, stated that the location where it was found, it had to have been intentionally put there. It would not have just accidentally been misplaced in the pond. Yeah, no shit.
I just dropped my hammer in the pond.
Hello? Sorry, my brain had to restart. I just don't understand.
No.
Unless he's working on maybe a dock, which is not specified.
Yeah.
That would be my only answer.
I
Why
don't
is there
have one.
why is the hammer in the local pond? Anybody?
Anybody? Give me your best guess. Leave it in the comments.
And how do you just lose a hammer?
My thing is, okay, I guess back in that day, they used hammers a lot more than I use a hammer at my house. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know where my hammer
I use
is at
hammers
my house.
all the time. I don't lose them in ponds. I have a pond on my property. Have I ever lost a hammer in there? No.
No, I couldn't even describe to you what the hammer at my house looks like. Okay.
I have multiple.
I probably do too.
So,
But also, to be fair, like, it's one of those things where
but also you're correct. Going back, they probably did use hammers a lot more often back then.
he had to be building shit. I don't have to be building shit.
Correct.
And I don't hang things on my walls, so I really don't need a hammer.
Fair.
I guess, unless I want to go commit a murder. But,
That would not be my weapon of choice.
you know, I'm not feeling that violent. So
It's a lot of work.
the hammer's going to get taken from me, and I'm going to be the one who dies in that situation. So
We're all screwed.
we're fine. I don't know. I think that's a random thing to be like, by the way, my hammer's missing
And how did we find it? 1 million years later, approximately.
in a pond. My hammer's missing. Oops. Chunks it.
I just think that Mr. Smart makes the most sense.
Mr. Smart, not so smart.
No, he ain't.
Oh, he is.
He
He
not
got
that
away
smart.
with it.
He's smart with 2 T's.
Smart.
Smart.
He got away with it.
Yeah.
So maybe he is smart.
Or it was just so butchered.
Just so roundhouse that no one knows what to do.
Nobody knows what to do.
We're all lost.
There's also a statement in April 2018, Gamberg, again, stated that DNA evidence recovered from a piece of tape at the crime scene matched that of a known living suspect. I looked and looked and looked and looked, and I couldn't find shit on that.
Give us the living suspect.
Yeah, who? And why are they not arrested? Why is there DNA on tape? On a piece of tape.
Okay, so it sounds like they actually did investigate, but none of it was made to be. It was a small town cop.
Right, because they had all this evidence.
Yeah, it's a small town cop.
They knew there was a
cover-up or
hammer.
whatever.
There was a piece of tape somewhere in evidence.
It's giving small town cover up. Like
But for why?
they're friends. I don't know.
Martin Smart,
Friends with cops.
motherfucker.
Like we've said it 1,000 times, we're gonna have to make sure that our kids and us are friends with the cops as well, because
Yeah.
our kids gonna be running rampages in this town.
Correct. Then they're not going to be killing anybody.
We're not
To
going
be fair.
We're not going to cabins and murdering anybody.
No. But there's not much to do in this town when you get to be of age.
There's not.
But cause a ruckus.
Yeah, but drive around.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. What do you think? I think it was Martin for sure.
it's giving Martin.
Yeah.
But originally, when you showed me the picture, the sketch artist, I was like, okay, Ed Kemper, and these are two completely different categories, right? Ed Kemper, and you've probably never watched it because you don't watch Brain Rot like I do, but it's the same people. I don't know. It's Adult Swim, I guess. I don't know. It's called The Great North. It's an animated show.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard of it.
There's a son named Ham,
Oh,
and the second drawing looked like Ham.
looked like him.
So one of them looked like an animated character of a TV show I watched.
Okay.
And the other one looked like Ed Kemper.
Okay. I could see Ed Kemper in the first one.
There's
little.
a broad
little bit.
spectrum. Broad spectrum there.
I'll put the photos up when we talk about it. and
We'll
you
do a
guys
side
can-
by side.
You guys can go back and
We'll
we'll do a side by side.
of Ham and the longer.
You're asking a lot. You're asking a lot.
Asking the technologically not advanced.
Yeah. Not advanced girl over here. Crazy.
I just think it's funny. That's where my brain went whenever you showed it to me. It was like,
I mean, hey, that's what
Cartoon characters
imagination
I
is
watch.
for.
I got it. It's there.
There.
I think that makes the most sense with his son being there and being involved. And I think his son could have been like, hey, friends, I don't want y'all to die. But you would think at this day and age, they would like come back unless they just like repressed it, you know?
Yeah, because they would still be alive.
But that was a 10 and a
Maybe.
5-year-old.
Yeah, they were young in 81.
Yeah, but 10 and 5, the 10-year-old should have, you have memories.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for
to
sure.
be like, I remember that. Like, I don't think they would repress.
Maybe some of those super traumatizing things just,
Black it
they're
out.
gone.
Yeah. I repress a lot of my things that make me embarrassed. So my mom will be like, do you remember that? And I'll be like,
Nope.
sure don't. It embarrassed me. So I locked that way
It's
back.
gone. I just replay those things in my brain over and over and over.
Well, I
and
do
over
as an
and over.
adult now. But like as a kid, I think it like shut it down.
Yeah. You're
But
like, "No,
now
I
as an
didn't."
adult, I'll think about it for 4 days
And
and
you're
I'll be like,
We've all been there.
I think Mr. Smart makes the most sense and boobity butt. But it was so violent. They definitely had to have
There had to have been some
something.
motive. But that's the other thing is that's one of the other things that's never been able to been figured out. I said that way too many words.
It was good. You got it.
Is that there's no, what was the motive?
It definitely seemed very rough. So maybe they had little nighttime shindigs between the two if they were both single
Yeah, maybe.
and it ended not well. It is very
Where
violent.
was Justin's mom? Because Martin is his stepfather
I thought Martin wrote a letter.
to his ex-wife.
Oh, I thought he was single.
Not as far as I gathered.
Maybe they flew Noodle in when she's at work.
Maybe.
I don't have answers.
No, we want answers. We don't
We
have any.
want answers.
I wonder when we're going to get copyrighted for that. I want to put that on a t-shirt, but we can't.
No.
We can't.
He'll find us when we're doing well and shut us down like he does all the other.
I'm your biggest fan. I don't know what you're talking about. You would be wrong to do that.
She's like crying. Tears.
That'd be
Yeah.
my worst nightmare.
But you'd get to talk to Zach.
True.
Might be worth it.
Highest and lowest
Might be worth
all
it.
at once. It might be worth it. It might be. You're right. I'm gonna just keep doing it. Just keep on doing it. That one person who, the email that I wrote and I was like, Zach Bagels, thought it was the funniest thing ever. Thought it was an accident. It was on purpose.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Loved that.
I do. I like it.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I wish we came up with that.
I know, I do too. We're not original.
No, we are. Just not like in our own creative way.
Just not when it comes to Zach Bagels.
No, when it comes to Zach Bagels, things like that is
Yeah.
just, that's peak comedy.
I love it.
My brain isn't functioning on that high of a level currently.
No. Our frequency isn't tuned in.
It'll come back.
I do love that in our Discord today, someone was like, are you going to have Jeannie on the podcast? I'm like, I love that you know my mom's name because I talk about her so much on the podcast.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
That's so, but we should each do an episode one day where you bring Jeannie and I bring my mom.
I said, my mom's going to shut me down. I'm going to bring a conspiracy. She hates conspiracies.
That would be so fun though.
She doesn't believe in any of them.
Oh, I think it would be so.
When I
That
start
would
talking
be,
about like 9/11, she's like, you weren't even there, Landrey. And I'm like, okay, Jeannie, were you?
we were there. We were alive.
I was like 5 years old.
I remember it distinctly.
I don't. I remember our parents watching the movie and we were not supposed to watch it. And we walked in, kind of looked around the corner. We were like, that is hell.
I don't remember that. I remember watching the true live thing happening on the TV
I don't remember that at all.
at 5 years old.
I don't know where
in
I was.
Kindergarten.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know where I was. I just know that my mom doesn't believe that it was orchestrated and I have huge conspiracies on it.
There's so many. There's
so many conspiracies. So many conspiracies like that on the Titanic. And mom's like, you're wrong.
Oh, I think that would be an incredible episode idea.
I'd end up just cussing her out, man.
It would be so fun. I will be here to mediate. Don't worry. I'll sit back there.
She has cue cards.
Jeannie.
Stop. That's red and green light. Yeah, I also do want to do it. Like, I want to do an episode with Aaron and you do and Damien and then maybe them do one together because I think that they would be so unhinged.
Oh, it would be so much fun.
But did you see where I said the guys would record 3 hours and
Oh
only
my God.
30 minutes would be used
Correct.
because they would get us canceled,
Canceled.
shut down.
Because they're psychotic. Yes.
My husband's like the most conspiracy land person I've ever met. Like the other
Mine's
night,
not really, but there's some things where I'm like, whoa, dude.
whoa.
Whoa, bro.
No,
relax.
Aaron gets way off. So like we were at my birthday dinner the other night and he was talking to Dad and Mantha and Murphy and he was just on a soapbox and they were loving it. They were loving it. And when we walked out of there, I was like, what the hell? And he's like, I can't talk to you about that stuff. And I was like,
you're like, wow.
well, you're not wrong.
I love that for him. I love that for him. I love to get on a soapbox.
I love it whenever he does do that though, because I'm like, oh, you are intelligent. I know he's smart, but
Yeah.
he never shares that stuff with me because I shut it down normally.
Damn.
But he's
crazy.
way off.
I can get way off into some conspiracy shit too. I don't know what my husband would talk about. I
I even
love
said that. I said it in the Discord. I said, I don't know what Shae's like. I don't know what your episode with Damien would be about. Like, I don't know if he'd be more interested in ghost stories or
Oh no, he hates scary shit.
I don't know what he would be interested in.
I don't either, honestly.
All
I
I
would
could
have
think
to
of
come up
was-
with something extremely unhinged.
All I could think of was Pokemon cards in F1.
Yeah, when he gets uncomfortable, he is really awkward and like makes funny jokes,
And then they're not funny.
and they're not. And I'm like, oh.
I would have to, like,
So the whole
take-
time it would just be me.
Ooh. And now I have the ick. New ick unlocked.
I'm like, no. You're not understanding.
No, I think Aaron's episode, I would just have to be like,
Yeah,
constantly.
we'll have to have key cards for sure.
1000%. Language and just tone it down.
If I brought my mom on here,
She would be jumping
Everything
and screaming.
would make so much sense to you all as to why I am the way that I am. And also Landry.
Yeah.
It would just, everything would just make so much sense.
It would click. Maybe.
I mean, we are quite literally the same person. Whenever
know.
we're together,
Ugh.
she will tell me about every murder documentary and show and podcast that she listened to for the week,
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
And it's like a couple hours worth of conversation that we will have about
She's locked in.
new stuff. And she's like, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, you should do. And I'm like, I can't keep up.
I can't do this.
There's
Mom.
so many.
I don't know what Jeannie would do. My mom likes to bully me whenever she's uncomfortable and like doesn't know what to do. So I think she would just try and tell a bunch of embarrassing stories. And I just,
Yeah, we can't have that.
but she does. I love her. That's what she does. I call her out all the time.
These things would be, this is great. This is good brainstorming.
Or she would sit here and grammatically the whole time. Landry.
That's okay. The people would love it.
Well, I already tell y'all that she does it, so.
Who would love it?
She's like, you just like said it again. Like how last time I was like, my mom hates when I hate when Jeannie. And she was like, you just like called me out again. And I was like, well,
That's all you do is call me out, Jeannie.
don't be callie outable. I do think that it would be fun to have just random little.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's a great idea.
I think it'd be funny.
I couldn't imagine. I just could not imagine having to edit those episodes.
Oof.
Oof. Oof.
Not near as clean.
No. Good Lord.
We've learned our
But it would be fun.
we've learned our path to make it to where we don't have to edit as much.
Oh my God, yes. It's been great.
Since
I
the
mean, I still
beginning.
have to edit mine quite a bit just because I brain fart so often. And I just like will have a 3-minute pause for no reason.
I edit mine the most where I just
And I
Like-
love it.
that's where I end up.
I leave mine in most of the time unless it's really bad.
I'll leave a couple, but I do it so often that I have to just take some of them out, or else we wouldn't get through the story and someone would be like, for real?
For real, for real? Be so for real.
Yeah, for real.
They're probably telling us to be so for real right now. We're just yapping. It's okay. It's the end of
They
the
haven't-
episode.
They haven't had us yip yap in a while.
We
honestly.
haven't.
We haven't done that in a long time. We've been very focused.
We have been. Because we've been like, we have to record and edit right now. So
Right.
it's out tomorrow.
right now. It's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's great. Everything's going well.
Yeah.
Having a
You're doing
great
good,
time.
sweetie.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. All right.
I don't have anything else.
I don't either.
Some things have changed. There are new thumbnails
Oh, I
on all
was
of our
like, what's
things.
changed?
We've changed the layout of some of our episode descriptions and things like that. There's just been little changes here and there, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
We've added the Discord link into the show notes,
Patreon's there too.
Patreon as well.
Which Patreon, I will say, it's nothing crazy. There's a free channel, and it's the same. It links to our Spotify, but you'll listen to it on Patreon. So it does have Spotify ads. And then there is a ad-free channel that I go in and I upload the episode with no ads, and Shae will too, on her episodes. And it's just no ads, but we only have like 16 of the episodes. I think I have down to like 76 on there or something like that, or 25 or 26 episodes on there. We got a backlog, but that's what the ad-free is. It's like $1.99 a month, but it is in there. So,
Woo!
working on it.
So if ads are not your thing,
Yeah, because I think YouTube puts ads in on their own. Spotify, we have ads. So I think
Don't know.
I think they show up no matter what.
we just be doing the things.
Hanging out.
But make sure you follow, like, subscribe, repost, all the things. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it. There is a website coming
Mhm.
soon. Very, 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 very soon.
Working on that and some fun little merch.
Like for sure this time.
For sure this time.
Like actually for real, for real.
It's like actually made. I just haven't published it.
yeah. But we will. It's there. It's ready. So you guys be ready for that.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
It will be.
I'm excited.
If you have any stories you'd like to share, recommendations, anything like that, sistersofthestrangepodcast@gmail.com.
We love your stories. I love your stories.
I know, we've been getting a lot. We have like a pretty good inbox.
Yay! So
I
excited.
like it.
Yeah.
But
All right.
all I
That's it. We will see you guys
next time.
next week.
I just don't know when it ever is.
I don't know. Okay, bye.
Bye.